Well, this is Gerald Overmars. Let's go to another example of the sound-informed theory, how you can translate actually letters as positions, how we recognize these positions, into how we also can recognize the combined positions into a form. And it usually works well when you really understand these positions, how we recognize the positions, and the role of the positions also that gives us certain qualities that can be combined with other qualities. So the complexity of the whole system goes from simple direct focuses into space to a little bit more directed directions in timing, and even more a full perspective into time and space at the same time. Formulas that you can combine of these positions from the last category. Let's go and focus upon arm and leg also, because the next word will be leg, and let's see how that works out. It isn't the easiest word because it's not, and that's it makes it also interesting that you do not immediately see the full picture just based upon the localizations of the letters alone from where we recognize them, because you also have to deal with that puzzle, how it physically adapts from one first letter to the next letter. That's a small problem that you get there, but when you understand the full picture, you will see also how this works out in the reality of it, how we translate it automatically to something that also would fit, because that's actually what we do. We not only associate words like a random encyclopedia of words that we will immediately have the visualization of it. No, it's because our brain isn't like storing a full encyclopedia. We're not really using so much of a storage room for words and letters as you might think. The nature tries to be simple, so the localization of points and the combination of points makes an automatic, okay, this is the least tension between these differences. I can imagine something. It makes it more easy. So you have certain combined positions, and the mind itself makes the most easy connection that it makes automatically. Let's go to arm now to explain this one, which isn't immediately 100% easily connected as some of the other words, like leg, for instance, is so easily connected that you can't almost not help it to visualize the right thing once you understand the puzzle pieces. For arm, it's a little bit different. A, yeah, that's a combined letter actually, but it basically is written as A. So what is the A? I already combined it slightly with the O. The A is a focus upon an object. There is an aspect of that letter A that it is going to focus upon an object. So it's not completely like that. You have a sharp vision upon that object. That's the object there. It gives you also a little bit time to sharpen your vision. So there is a transition towards the object. And that makes it a difference, that it is a different focus than a very sharp focus. It's sharpening its focus. I'm going to start from that object and I'm going to focus upon that object. That's the A. With the O combined, you have the arm. It is slightly between A and O, so let's explain it like that. You have this transition position is even more important, because that means that the object is not like filling in the full range of the centralized object, so that you will fill it in like you have a vase and you fill it in completely according to the form of the vase, and you have a completely centralized form. Now there is a centralizing thing with A, but there's also a transition form, like no, I'm going towards that filling in of the form with when we combine it with O, there's an area which surrounds the object and gives it a little bit more movements possible, variations possible of a form that is not needed to completely filled in, because it's like it's the room around it. So the room around it gives it an opportunity that it has not a perfect filled in centralization form, let's say. So like you have that with the arms also around you. There's a space around it which could be filled in, but you have this more as a transition form. You can fill it in into this area. But the basis, of course, the form itself. The form is the basis of that A. We choose letters correctly. So if we do not use A, but slightly different versions, it means that you have also a little bit more complexity possible that way. It's not that simple. Focus upon the form. No, it's that form with its variations within that range possible. And from there you have the R, which of course will connect itself to that area of transitions, that area of movements that are possible. In a way, theoretically, I could say, okay, this could be, because I'm centralized, could be in all directions, could lead to all directions. The M at the end will then be that extension. We're still focusing upon form and space. So the extensions possible, all the extensions possible, or the full extensions possible, are visualized. So what is extended will be visualized mostly. That's when I follow the theory, that's what I will see. And even though I would say I start from that centralized and I go to that maximum, so with from in all sides, so to the middle and the outside, so fill it in, let's say, then I still do not have a really perfect visualization of arm. It is a bit, incomplete. It doesn't seems to match completely yet, and that's because I also need actually that process of the letters that go into each other. So I have the A, which will have to evolve into R, which have to evolve into M. If you don't do that very correctly, it will not visualize itself so well. Although the explanations that I gave before, already until now, will already be associated with the arm quite easily, but the form not. I have the centralized thing. So let's go to it as well. So what do I miss still? So I have the centralized thing. I have this transition possibility with the A. I have make a connection from the thing itself outwardly within this transition form. And just R alone will be then I have a center, and I go towards somewhere else, will create this kind of form with the R instead of A, that was R, now R will go a little bit more into the surrounding area. So I have the R slightly formed in this way. The M then will be at the outer ranges, where I will have a full range of the form, not just towards a point that I'm directing towards, but towards the full range of the full form. So of course I have to have the full range of the full form, and that will create a slightly different form. But it's also not just into one direction from the center towards the outside, but I also have to be like, oh no, I can also have to have somewhere from the outside towards the center, because R is always in two directions, to and from and to. And when I do that, the to and the from and to, I have the two directions within that range, and the form I have to adapt towards that double direction actually a little bit, which creates a slightly form like this, which is already a little bit more like an arm. And when I resume it, I think it will also be almost like the essence, so that you have within the arm a certain middle point and the movement towards two directions, to and from and to. Even with the R that can be in multiple directions, as I had that idea before, you already have more an idea. Okay, yes, that's where we associate the arm as a form itself, and as well with all the explanation that I had before, that this transition space is also important, where we will perform ourselves with the things what we want to express with the arm. Okay, I hope that was clear enough. If not, just tell me. Let's go to leg.